life worth living is a life worth recording. I wish I knew who I could attribute the quote to, but I've not been able to find the author of it. Now, I realize this might not be for everyone, but have you ever considered keeping a journal? Obviously, you can use it to record what you want, but look at it as an opportunity to delve deep into who you are. Think of your journal as a strategy session that examines how well Project You is going. You can use your journal to record your thoughts, ideas, and any wee snippets of information that could prove useful. When you take the effort to write everything down, then you're having to think on your day and how things are in general. It helps you to focus on the direction in which you're moving. When you focus in on yourself, you can look at the good and the bad stuff in great detail. In fact, you might surprise yourself about what you discover. It's a great way to deal with any problems that might be bothering you, because instead of having them rattling around in your mind, you're taking them out of your head and placing them on a medium that you control. Once you have them down on paper, you'll find it a lot easier to identify the root cause of your problems and how to deal with them. A journal can be a great motivational tool. It can show you how well you're doing and that you're on track to achieve your goals. If things aren't going quite to plan, a journal can prove to you that you can succeed, and it can chart your passage back to happier times. It's also an invaluable record of how you deal with different situations. Obviously, it's up to you how often you make entries, but if you really want to analyze who you are, then the more entries you make, the more you can bisect how things are going, the easier it is to identify problem areas, and the more entries you have, the more valuable a resource it will be. It's easy for me to say, away you go now and start writing, but writing what and writing how? If you don't already keep a journal, it can take time to get into the habit. So launch yourself into it and make it an important part of your day. Whatever you do, don't take the time to think about what you write. Don't bother about grammar. Just let it all flow from the heart. If you spend time analyzing everything, then it will take an age, and the odds are that you'll call day on it. By letting rip, you are much more likely to bring out thoughts and ideas that you might never have considered. I would strongly suggest that you set yourself a time limit. Put yourself under pressure and make that limit strict. Give yourself a certain amount of time, and whilst the clock is ticking, you write. When it stops, you stop. By putting your mind under pressure, you'll put yourself under pressure to come up with as much as possible. If you still have points that you've not written down, it gives you something to think about until the next time you put pen to paper. Before you start on your journal, decide on some personal development goals. Your progress to those goals can be charted in your journal. It can keep you on track. It can also open your eyes and mind to new goals. If you're going to gain the full benefit from your journal, you need to be brutally honest with yourself. I'm assuming that no one but yourself is going to read it, so you lose nothing by being honest. By being honest with yourself, you can ask yourself the tough questions that need to be asked. We're all our worst critics, So asking tough questions shouldn't be too much of a problem. Thinking on it, tough questions is probably the wrong thing to call it. Let's say call these questions deep and insightful, which is closer to the mark. It's the questions such as where you are in life and who are you that give the most insight and guide your mind in the direction you need to be. Once you've asked yourself the difficult questions, you can come up with ideas as to how you can deal with the answers. It sounds so easy, doesn't it? Get yourself a journal, write something in it, and everything will go swimmingly for it. Think about it. After a while, your journal will become a valuable resource that can provide help, guidance, and motivation. By writing down things, you have to focus on them. They're no longer abstract thoughts wandering through your mind. You've given them shape and form. You just need to decide what to do with them. Journaling is a tool that has the power to do a lot of good for you because it harnesses the power and potential within you. I've said this once or twice before, and I'm going to keep on saying it. There is infinitely more to you than your mind allows you to believe. Your journal can help you to unlock all of that dormant potential, but it can only do that if you take action. William James said, "This life is worth living," we can say, since it is what we make it. And so, my friend, until next time, keep living.